Here we are, the last Sunday in 2024, and we're here. We're here. It's okay. I'm full right now, y'all, because I'm here. And you all are here. And no matter what the condition, the circumstance, or the human challenges that we have had those 363 days, are we here? Yes, we are. And that is enough to be excited about and to be full about. We were full not last week. What was it? Yeah, last week, Tuesday. The days are just rolling. And when we got that beautiful message, and we have just been eating at a full buffet of spiritual substance for 363 days. Are y'all full? Have your appetite been quenched? No, not quite, not yet. So I want to say Happy New Year. And welcome to our last Sunday. We've been on this journey together for a while. And it's one of those journeys that you don't know where you're going. You have an idea. You don't know the circumstances. You don't know what to expect. But you know with truth and faith, if you stand on your truth and you stand on the faith and the power and the presence of Spirit within you, you know it'll be okay. Let me share something with you all. I didn't know if I was going to be here today. Let me tell you why. I went to an event, and all the people around me, about 7 or 8 of them, came down with full-blown COVID. And the phones were blowing up with the messages, right? And one by one, I told you Tuesday I went to visit someplace, right? And every one of those folk who I was around ended up with COVID. I'm COVID-free, y'all. I tested to make sure that I would not be here to cause anyone to be ill. And I said, sweet Spirit, you know what I have to do, and I want to be about your business. So I tested and I tested and I tested and I text the prayer chaplains and I text Brett and I text a few other people, and I tell you, prayer works. And I'm counting my blessings because I am here with you all. Someone asked me, what will your new year bring? And I told them 365 more opportunities. 365 more opportunities. Beloved, we stand here at the thresholds of a new year, and we're blessed with the opportunities to reflect, to release, and to renew. And today, our message will guide us through 2 transformative acts. What we will not carry into 2025, and embracing the promise of a new name, identity, through the white stone ceremony. You know, I've been in this space at some level for about 25 years. And I started coming through the front door because I heard a message that called to my heart. And this has been my spiritual home for 25 years. And through those 25 years, I have seen miracles and blessings manifest in my life in ways that you would never even imagine. I'll take it up a different level. In this community, in the last year, I have seen miracles, restoration of body temples. I have seen relationships healed. I have seen people become healthy. And it's nothing woo-woo-woo or spooky about it. Because we are metaphysicians. It's Christian based on the teachings of Jesus. And so all we do is embrace and believe that the power of prayer works. How many of you know that the power of prayer works? Raise your hand. Let me have an applause if you know that the power of prayer works. Y'all have heard my story. You've seen people in our prayer group. You've watched my sister friend, Reverend Anicia. You've watched the miracles after miracles after miracles because of you. And there are things I can't discuss and won't discuss, but I know in my heart, I know for a fact that miracles happen, that we count our blessings, and it be because of all of you who bring your energy here every Sunday, if you're seated here or by way of that camera. We know that we're a powerful community, and we are getting ready to step into 2025 with more power than we had before. So I'm going to go on and just ask you now just to settle in. As Miss Daisy and the team ministered to us, and they opened us up to count our blessings one by one. So I want you to do something for me. As we get ready to start the first half of this celebration, I want you just to settle in and just allow this moment, this energy, just to take you over. Allow the presence of the Holy Spirit in this place be the reminder of what we need to move us forward and to move us through. And as we get ready to release those things, people, thoughts, issues, we are understanding that we're clearing the clutter. We're making room in our hearts and minds and our lives. And as we stand in that truth, we know that releasing is an act of faith, a declaration that God will fill the void of those things that we let go. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, said denial is a mental process of erasing false beliefs. So let us deny power to the thoughts of fear, lack, resentment, and failure. So now I want you to do this. Gently close your eyes if you feel so moved, and imagine in your mind's eye an overstuffed suitcase. There's no room for new clothes or treasures until you empty it. And that suitcase is heavy with all the stuff, all the things. Now, if you want to replace that stuff with ideas and error thoughts that you are not enough, that you are not loved, that there is anger and resentment. And if you are going to travel into 2025, you cannot take that with you. You cannot carry that heavy load over the threshold. This is what we're here to do today, to unpack that suitcase, to allow you to walk freely into 2025. During this service, we'll release our burdens and dissolve them. You should have received a piece of paper. Does everyone have a dissolvable piece of paper? And this year is not that little tiny square. Brett made sure we had a big old piece so that you wouldn't have to get 5 or 6 squares, but you have that big square, that big piece of paper. And if you have an ink pen, I'll let you know when it's time for us to start writing on that piece of paper. And that dissolvable paper is a symbol of impermanence, a symbol that you are going to write down and let go of relationships that didn't serve you. Write down and let go of habits and fears. Prepare them. Prepare them to be dissolved in water, affirming they're released into God's infinite care. Repeat something with me, and you don't need to stand. I release all that no longer serves my highest good. I will be free. I am free. I am renewed. Let me share a little bit with you before we delve into this. Preparing for New Year's. Every year my mom would get us up and get us ready. You know how that thing was. It was a thing that you had. You couldn't have dirty dishes in the sink. Couldn't have dirty clothes on the floor or in the house. Everything had to be cleaned, washed, and ready to go. Because you would not step into that new year coming with dirty clothes and dirty dishes, because she said that would be the way your house would look for the rest of the year. And that wasn't happening. And then she had this thing about the first person in the door on New Year's was a what? A man. Now, you can come on the side door if you're a female, but the first one in the door that crossed that threshold had to be a man. And so I've lived with that, not as a superstition or as a ritual, but as a mindset. My mama, she drilled that into us every year. And so I began to prepare my home. And one of the things that I don't have is gutter guards. Do you all have gutter guards? So what happens? All the leaves get stuck, don't they? I had a whole bunch of leaves in my gutter, and I didn't do it the year before. So you know what happened? I had big old icicles hanging. And I said, that won't happen. Prepare for the spring. Those leaves that served me during the spring were no longer good. And they fell from the tree, and they fell in my gutter. And I had to clear them out. Do you get where I'm going with this? We have those things in life that fall into our lives and we have happened to us. And unless we clear them out, we're going to be stuck and full and overflow. Let me give you another example. There was a man who went to visit a Buddhist priest. And he was full, and he said, you know, may I talk to you? And the priest said, absolutely. And he began to pour out his heart, everything negative that was wrong. He kept going, and the priest said, the Buddhist minister or priest said, give me a minute. Would you like a cup of tea? And he said, yes. He came with the tea, and he began to pour, and the man continued. And as he was talking, the Buddhist priest continued to pour. And pour, and pour. And the man said, well, what are you doing? It's flowing over. And he says, that's exactly what you're doing, flowing over. And you've left no room for me to add the sugar or the cream to this cup of tea. So goes with us that when we allow those things, the anger, the resentment, the old, what can I call it, traumas and things that invade our lives, we overflow and we have no room for the things, the goodness that God has for us. So we are going to say goodbye to 2024 and all that happened. We're going to celebrate the good things, and we're going to release those things that no longer served us and be ready to do what we came to this space to do. I believe that we incarnated to this space to be a messenger. And if we're going to be messengers, if we're going to be the face of I am, that face of God, we have got to be free. And this is our time. This is our time. I want to go with slide 1. Isaiah says, do not remember the former things, now nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now shall it spring forth. I will do a new thing. So we have to forget, let go, release of all the old and not hold on to it and drag it in to 2024. I'm not preaching. I'm just saying. I'm reminding that that's what we're here for, to grow spiritually. I'm very nostalgic, and one of the things that I like is Auld Lang Syne. Y'all know that one? You know the words that old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Well, I want to do a little metaphysics with it. It's playing around with it. So if we look at Auld Lang Syne, it's not just a song, it is an opportunity for us to look at how we can reflect, how we can look at our lives, our beliefs, and our actions. It's not an emotional attachment. It's letting go of those things that don't serve us. Now, the song would say, should old acquaintance, that's the question, be forgotten, never brought to mind? The old acquaintance would be friends, but I submit to you, beloved, that the acquaintance are all those things that you met up with in 2024. The beliefs, the emotional stress, the bad habits, the attachment to those things that no longer serve you. So do you want to let those old acquaintances go? Do you want to leave them on the side of 2024? What do you all think? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to leave those old acquaintances? The metaphysical piece of it, all that doesn't serve you anymore. Holding on to grudges against someone for a past mistake. Having limited beliefs of unworthy, lack or fear or resentment, or that restrict your divine potential. Harmful habits and behaviors or mindsets that keep us stuck in a lower vibration. Procrastination, doubt. Not making any judgment here, because when I talk to you, I'm talking to myself. So as we begin to travel into 2025, I ask you to think about those old acquaintances. Those old acquaintances, thoughts, and not necessarily people, that prevent you from fully embracing the present moment and moving forward in your divine plans. Something to think about. Something for you to think about. And I know as you go home and as you ride, because as spiritual beings, as metaphysicians of truth, we're always seeking to understand beyond what we see. Apostle Paul said, forgetting what is left behind and straight and looking forward to what is ahead, I press forward to the mark, the goal to win the prize, which God has called me heavenward in the name of Christ. This verse encourages us as believers to release past burdens and focus on pursuing your divine purpose. You've been called to this space. You incarnated to this space for a reason. And if you put off, don't do what God has called you to do, there is a gap. You came here for a purpose. You came here to do what God needs you and Spirit needs for you to do. we're here for a divine purpose. And each year we learn. Each year we grow. Each year we become and we function on a higher level of our spirituality and who we've intended to be. So now, I want you to think about what it is that you may want to release for this year.